What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and this is an exciting video to me. It's just a power bank, but it very well could be my favorite go-to all of the time with me power bank. This is the Baseus 65-watt power bank. It is 20,000 mAh. We're going to get the watt hours here in just a moment, but you can see the text down here. Nothing. We've got a LED digital display screen. We have PD 3.0, QC 3.0, two-way fast charge, 2 inputs and 3 outputs, 20,000 capacity. Here's a whole bunch of stuff on the back if you want to pause that and read any of it for yourself. Nothing on the bottom. Let's go ahead and, they include some little quick things here to not have to get a knife or cut anything, which is nice. Love to see that. Looks like it's on both sides. This literally could be the power bank that just, there's no need for me to have any other power bank. You know, for most situations. So if I need more than 65 watts, Baseus has me covered there as well. But 90% of the time, this is going to be all that I need. That is kind of a heavy boy. This scale's probably older than my daughter. Definitely need to get a new one. Well, we're looking at 432 grams. To put that into comparison, this is the Anchor 65-watt charger. 492, so actually quite a bit more there. All right, we got big old text that says 65 watts. We have a little text that says 20,000 mAh. We've got a power button. Got a little like screen protector there for that digital display, which is showing 82. And it's Baseus on the side, ports on the top. Then we have some stuff here on the bottom. All right, once again on my tiny little camera's viewfinder, I cannot see what you see. So there's all the stuff on the bottom. Most importantly, I see that there's 20 volts at 3.5 amps, which is going to give you that 65 watts, which is quite nice. Our 15 is at 3 amps. On the top here, it looks like our C out and in can do that 20 volts at 3.25 amps. We've got a micro USB in, which is pretty cool because, you know, if you only have a micro USB cable around, you can still charge this battery bank up. That's pretty neat. I do like that. And then you have a USB 2 and USB 1 out. Looks like they both are the same. They can do up to 12 volts at 2.5 amps. 12 volts, 2.5 amps. 5 volts total output is going to be 5 volts at 6 amps. It looks like the model number is going to be PPADM65-S. And it looks like it's going to be a 74 watt hour battery inside this thing. The energy conversion rate is going to be about 75%. That micro input can do up to 12 volts at 1.5 amps or 9 volts at 2 amps. So that is quick charge. That is quick charge. You're looking at least 18 watts. So 9 times 2 is 18. And then 12.1.5, what is that, like 30? I don't know. My math is bad. What is 12 times 1.5? Okay, my math is bad. That's going to be 18 watts. So 18 watts is going to be the maximum with a micro USB, which is still pretty freaking decent, all things considered. This is the little cable that it comes with. It's short. It's about maybe, I don't know. It's not 3 feet. I don't think it's a 1 foot either. It's probably like 1.5 foot or something. All right, so with an 82% charge, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to use all of that. I'm going to drain it down to where it dies. We're going to charge it up, but we're going to see how much of a charge that it can accept. Because here's the biggest thing to me, right? I've got a 140 watt charger over here. I'm going to plug this into that input port there. And keep in mind at 82%, we're actually kind of near full there. And look at that, we're getting 56.2 watts going into this thing. All right, so it looks like the cable is 60 watts of... So let's try a different cable. All right, Baseus has 3 different ones. They got one that's like it folds out, but it's not very long at all. And then they got like a medium one, and then they got a long one. I'm not quite sure which one they sent me for review, but let's try a known 100 watt cable and see if we can get more than 60 watts. All right, so now that we're using a 100 watt cable, it does show that down here that this cable is capable of doing 100 watts. So the one that it comes with is only going to do 60 watts. So it's going to accept up to 20 volts and 5 amps of input there. That's crazy. That's what it's capable of doing. But it's clearly only doing 56 right now, which is quite good. I want to put that into comparison. This is the power bank I have been using for my Steam Deck because it's 65 watts of output. But here's the thing. It only accepts 30 watts of input at the most. But typically, normally, me and a lot of other people have only gotten this to accept 20 watts of input. And at 20 watts of input, this thing takes, pretty much the whole day. At 30 watts, it's quite a bit better. This is my other power bank I've been using for my Steam Deck because it's 20,000 mAh. But unlike the other one, it can actually accept 60 watts of input. So this thing recharges way faster. And here's the deal. If I use my power bank to charge my Steam Deck or anything like my laptop, I want to be able to recharge this battery as quickly as possible when it dies. And the fact that this is showing 56 watts of input at an 83% charge, that's pretty awesome. We've got some more testing to do to see if it can charge even faster when the battery's lower. We're going to measure how many watt hours we put into this thing going from 0 to 100. And then we're going to measure how many watt hours this thing can put into a completely dead Steam Deck. Turn the Steam Deck on once this battery says 0 and see how much of a charge you got the Steam Deck. Because I'll bet most people out there are getting this thing so they can charge their Steam Deck, their ROG Ally, or their Legion Go, or if you're watching this in the future, your MSI Claw, which I'm definitely super excited about that. And not only can you press it to see the amount there. All right, so we're gonna plug in our phone here. It is at 40%. So while it's not super low, we should still get a pretty decent charge. And look at that. We're putting 26, almost 27 watts into our iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's pretty awesome. Now here's the deal, right? This thing says 9 volts. Press it again. It says 2.8 amps. How close is that? That's awesome. So we can see 83%. It says out. It's telling me that the power is going out of the power bank. It's telling me that it's at 83% battery currently. It's telling me that it's doing 9 volts of output and 2.4 amps, well, 2.1 of output. And then press it again to go back to the 83. So I don't need this tester except for the wattage. But if you know how to do math, you can just take 9 volts, 2.8 amps, and multiply the two together to get your 26 watts there. All right, so this is literally just the beginning of the video. Like I said, I'm going to use this power bank today. I'm going to drain it down to 0, fully recharge it, see how many watt hours that is according to my tester here that I've been using, and I'll be back. All right, and just for a quick little test before we drain this thing all the way, I have a 60 watt little short cable. I love using these things. I've charged up my iPhone to 80%, which is what I have it set to limit. And look at that. We show that we have PPS. This Baseus 65 watt charger has PPS. And what that means is you'll be able to charge up those Samsungs at super fast charging. You'll be able to charge your Google Pixel 7 or Google Pixel 8 at their highest speed possible. So that's awesome. That is incredible that this has PPS. Everything so far is lining up to this thing being just an amazing power bank. And look at this. We're putting 30 watts of energy into a phone that's at 60% battery right now. That is a very fast charge. That is incredible. All right, let's kill this thing and then see how many watt hours we can put back into it. All right, filming this with my Pixel 8 Pro. I have this reset to 0. I have it all plugged in. This is a meter, so it's going to tell us how many watt hours. I've got a time lapse, so I'm going to go ahead and press the start button. All right, so on here, I'm going to add a stopwatch, and then I'm going to press start and turn on the power supply. So now We have this at 0, and this is currently running. Awesome. All right, so I just walked in here and it said 5 watts. And as I was pulling my phone out to record, it said 0. So it is completely done charging at about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Obviously, the end charge takes the longest of all of it. But yeah, it looks like we put 81 watt hours into this guy. 81 watt hours. Pretty cool. That's 4,079 for the blue number there. I'll let you see a good close-up shot of that. All right. All right, and now for the final test, we're going to plug in the Steam Deck. It's completely dead. We're going to wait for that light to turn green. And we're going to reset the numbers on here. And we'll start the timer. So it looks like the Steam Deck is turning on. I'm going to go ahead and power it off so it can charge while it's powered off. All right, you see that right there? It says 2%. And it's powering off. Cool. I'll be back. All right, this is the final part of the video. We've been going for 1 hour and 34 minutes, 35 now. We're at 12% battery left on the power bank, and we can see that we put 56 watt hours into our Steam Deck. And at literally any second now, the light will turn green. And I know that's not actually 100%, but it's best not to take lithium batteries to their absolute lowest or their absolute highest. There's actually a sweet spot. Like with the new iPhone 15, for example, you can actually set it to limit charging to just 80%. That way, your battery health stays amazing for much longer than it would if you charge to 100%. Just like if you have an electric car, it doesn't typically like to go to 100% unless you're going to go on a long road trip and actually utilize that really quickly. So we just hit 57 watt hours, and at any moment, this light's going to turn green on the Steam Deck. We just hit 58 watt hours with 10% battery remaining on the power bank. All right, and just as it goes to 8% battery, the green light comes on. That is super freaking exciting. We are about to roll over to 59 watt hours on this power bank. This Steam Deck went from a completely dead battery to a completely full battery. All right, and like I said, it rolled over to 59 watt hours with 8% battery remaining. That is super freaking exciting. If you buy this power bank to use with your Steam Deck, know that you will get a full charge. And there you go. Battery is currently at 95%. And the green light is on. And then we can play our Steam Deck. And before our Steam Deck has a chance to die, this thing will be fully charged in less than 2 hours at 60 watts. This power bank is definitely my new favorite power bank. The fact that it supports Samsung Super Fast Charging 2.0. The fact that it charges my Pixel 8 Pro at 30 to 31 watts. The fact that it charges my iPhone 15 Pro Max at 30 watts. The fact that it charges my Steam Deck at 45 watts. The fact that it charges my MacBook Pro at 65 watts. The fact that I can recharge the power bank at 60 watts. It's all amazing. It's all awesome. And the icing on the cake that just didn't even have to be added was the fact that you can press the button, see that we're inputting. It says I in. It says we're putting 19.7 volts into the power bank at 2.7 amps. And we're currently at 9% battery. I cannot recommend this battery bank enough. Bring it with you. Kill your Steam Deck. Get one full charge back into your Steam Deck. and then let this puppy charge up while you're playing your Steam Deck or whatever portable console you're currently using or your laptop. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All links will be in the description below. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.